Hydration, guys. Make sure you guys have your good morning coffee or whatever it is. I guess this video is probably going up at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday because this is Wacky World, guys. I'm trying to start a new series called Wacky World, and it's gonna go up on Wednesdays to fit in with the W's, you know, Wacky World on Wednesdays. So here we are. It's a new series I want to start. If you guys have any tips or suggestions or ideas, if you like this series, if you don't like this series, let me know down in the comments below, because it's something I wanted to start where I just hop in and kind of talk about news and some things that are going on within the world. Now, this episode, I'm hopping in blind. I haven't really looked at any of the recent news stories or anything because I haven't paid attention to news in years, and I think it's something. It's an opportunity for me to, one, start paying attention to the news, and two, kind of making videos on it and interacting and being involved within the world, if that makes sense. Like, it allows me to create content on relative stuff and talk about relative things. So you guys may hear about these stories, you may not hear about these stories. Some of them are probably local to me here. Yeah, like you can see here on my screen, we have lightning strike may have killed 50 Canada geese. A Halifax man died after a lawnmower accident. Like, these are the stories I'm going to be talking about here in this video. Wacky things like that here in the Wacky World. It's a wacky world out there, guys. Like I said, smash the thumbs up if you do enjoy this series. Comment down below. Click the subscribe button if you're new. There's going to be some MX Simulator gameplay in the back, so it's going to be fun, guys. Let's get it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do these videos. Like I said, I do want to have some MX Simulator gameplay going on in the back, but I also want to show you guys the news stories and everything as well. So I'm here, I'm on the news app on Windows 10, and you can see I can just scroll through and go and find a ton of different news stories. Now, in the top stories here, this is where I'm going to focus for today's video. We're going to hop in and we're going to look at a few stories that I mentioned in the intro and a few stories here that are on this page. There is a video that shows a border patrol car hitting a Native American man, a man dead after a lawnmower accident in Halifax, 8 hurt after a taxi driver drives into a crowd, and then a lightning strike may have killed 50 Canada geese outside of Montreal. So these are the stories, guys. We're gonna talk about these, and then a couple more here later on to kind of end it off with a bang. But alright, I think we're gonna save this one for last. Let's talk about the Canada geese first. So if you guys didn't know, a Canada goose, or Canadian geese, are pretty iconic animals. They're heritage animals. What are they called? They're the the precious animals. Why can't I think of the word? Sacred. That's not it at all. But 50 Canada geese were found dead floating in the St. Lawrence River outside of Montreal earlier this week. They're saying that they may have died from a lightning strike. How else could 50 Canadian geese just die? It says that a local fisherman came across these geese in Quebec on Thursday, and then they called in veterinarians and they examined the bodies. A video was distributed on social media and has been shared more than 19,000 times. Man, social media is so powerful. It's so powerful, and it gets these stories out and it shows them to so many more eyes than if there was no social media, right? It's crazy. Times have changed. So the one vet said that the level of decomposition indicates that they all died at the same time, which rules out disease or malnutrition. Following the discovery, both the provincial and the federal flora and fauna ministries, which are the environmental industries, they were alerted, and pretty much they're looking into it, but they can't really do anything about it. So here's the video on Facebook. Man, they're talking French. They're just talking French, but there's so many. That's actually kind of sad. That's actually kind of sad. That many of them just wiped out like that. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Like I said, guys, we're going to be talking about some interesting stories here on Wacky World Wednesdays. So that's a good way to start it off. Now, the man that died after a lawnmower accident. Let's check this one out. So this one was in Halifax. Police say a 61-year-old man, that hurts the heart, hearing that an older gentleman was killed from a lawnmower. Okay, police say a 61-year-old man is dead after a lawnmower rolled on top of him in the Halifax area Saturday morning. Halifax Regional Police say the man was operating a ride-on lawnmower on the grounds of a church. So he was mowing the lawn of a church. I guess he was on like a steep hill trying to mow the grass, and it tipped over and rolled onto him. So he was on one of those like riding lawnmowers, and he drove over himself. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You gotta feel for the family, well, and like any relatives and friends, and like him. Like that's crazy. But you gotta be smart, and that just shows you that like everything you do is dangerous. Like you wouldn't think you could die mowing the lawn, really, right? Like, yeah, you may be able to get injured, but just dying. And emergency personnel responded just after 10 a.m., but the man was pronounced dead at the scene. So I guess like it shows you things can happen like that, like change really, really quick. This story interests me too. 8 hurt after a taxi driver drives into a crowd. There have been like a lot of crazy things going on recently. Recently in Toronto, there was like a man who drove a van on the sidewalk, hit and killed a bunch of people. Like the world's a crazy place, and that's kind of one thing that inspired me to start this series, Wacky World, on Wednesdays, just to kind of like talk about different things and put my perspectives on things and different stories and stuff out there, and kind of interact with you guys and see what you guys think. Like some of these stories are just crazy. Some of the news is like not even really news, it's like irrelevant, but some stuff like this, it's crazy, and it just makes you think. Like I don't know. Let's get into the story though. A taxi driver drove into a crowd of people in central Moscow on Saturday, injuring 8 people, including some Mexicans who were in the city for the Soccer World Cup, which is currently going on. Russian officials and an eyewitness spotted that. So I guess there were witnesses. You can't deny it at that point. An Interfax news agency cited a source as saying that the driver was drunk at the time of the incident, which occurred near Red Square. I have no idea what any of these places are because it's in Moscow, Russia? So, yeah. 8 people have sought medical assistance, so 8 people had to go to the hospital. Moscow's Traffic Management Authority said that the taxi driver had a driver's license issued in Kyrgyzstan, a mainly Muslim ex-Soviet republic. So he didn't even have a license to be driving there? Is that what they're saying? And the authority cited the driver as saying he had not driven into the crowd on purpose, so it wasn't on purpose. But 8 people injured. Hopefully, was anyone killed? I guess if no one was killed, it's not as bad, but still, like that's crazy. It's still bad. A witness at the scene said that some of the people hit were actually wearing Mexican team colors. Mexico was taking on Germany on Sunday in their first World Cup match in Moscow's stadium. So is it possible that he was trying to like kill or like go after people that were supporting Mexico? The same witness said that the driver tried to flee the scene but was apprehended by police. Russian authorities have vowed to host a safe Soccer World Cup, which is taking place in 11 cities until July 15th. So that's crazy, man. Once again, it shows you that like you're never safe. Your life can change in an instant. Like you can just be walking down the road and all of a sudden a car or a taxi or someone can be driving straight at you. Like I don't know, it's mind-blowing, man. It is mind-blowing. The last thing we're gonna check out here, guys, is the video that shows Border Patrol car hitting a Native American man. So this may be a little violent in graphic, like I hope it doesn't actually show the man just getting like killed. Let's read the story. So a Native American man was struck by a U.S. Border Patrol vehicle Thursday on a reservation in Arizona, according to footage recorded by the man on his cell phone. So he recorded it on his cell phone? He got hit and he was recording it with his phone? The incident, captured by Paulo Remes, a resident of the Tohono Nation. When there's names that like I can't pronounce, I just send it and continue on, because that's how you act like you're not messing up, and that's kind of something that's good to be able to do, because when you're doing presentations, if you start like stumbling, you need to be able to just move on and forget about that. So if you ever hear me just like fumble with a name and then keep going, it's because like I'm not going to be able to pronounce it even if I tried, so I just go with the flow. Fueled tensions between the tribe and federal immigration authorities after the video spread rapidly on social media. So where's the video? Where's the actual video? Is it here? What happens? This guy's just recording on his phone. This guy...
M87864. They just ran me over, bro. Yeah, they just ran me over, dude. They ran me over, bro. Yeah, I'm laying on the floor, dude. Alright, bro.
Okay, at this point in the video, I thought that he already ran someone over up there and this guy caught it on film. But is he like just filming for his safety? Or like what's happened already? What happened already? Like he's on the phone with his buddy. I don't know, I feel like I need more backstory before I can like judge on what happened, but they literally just hit him and they're driving away. No brake lights, they didn't slow down or anything, they just drive away. That's absolutely crazy. Let's finish the story and then finish off the videos. So, standing on what appears to be a dirt road as the vehicle barreled towards him. I wouldn't really say it barreled towards him, but it definitely did drive towards him. They can hear him reading out the vehicle's license plate number, blah, 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 blah. They just ran me over, bro, he says in the video, and he was taken to the hospital for treatment. He's since returned home, so he hasn't really been injured that bad, I guess. In a statement, Remez's mother, Juanita Remez, condemned the incident, accusing the Border Patrol of taking human life for granted, which, that's kind of true. Like, he didn't slow down, he didn't get out of the car or anything. Like, that shows you what goes on in the world. And imagine rolling up to like the US-Canada border and getting ran over by a car. So I guess this is a little bit of backstory here. The Tohono O'odham Reservation, which straddles the US-Mexico border. Okay, so it's the US-Mexico border. Became a well-traveled entry point to the US for undocumented immigrants and traffickers after federal officials tightened border security at larger points of entry. So when President Trump came into play, they're cracking down on the US-Mexico border, and I guess this is now one of the points where everyone's kind of been funneled to getting in illegally from Mexico to the US. The tribe, made up of 34,000 registered members, including 2,000 in Mexico, has campaigned against President Trump's proposed border wall, warning that it is unlikely to kind of stop the flow of people and drugs across the border, saying that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen either way, and they've actually passed more than 20 resolutions opposing the wall. So they're going against it, man. They're going against it. That's crazy. So this is the US. This is the US. Here I am like talking about like, yo, wouldn't that be crazy if like this stuff happened in Canada? But like, man, that's not too far away. That's in the US. What happens in Canada that I don't know about? That's what we're gonna find out in the next episode, maybe. I hope you guys did enjoy this series, this new episode, this new style of video I'm trying to bring to the channel. If you did, smash that thumbs up button for me. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button, become a member of the Goon Squad. Throw any comments down below in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about all of these stories, man. Some crazy things going on in the world. We had some geese dying to lightning, a taxi driver that drove into a crowd of people. We had an old man dying on a lawnmower. Like, man, a crazy episode. The world's crazy, guys. Stay safe. Peace out.